All right, my nephews and nieces. Once again, I'm sitting here with some information that I believe that y'all truly need to understand and see. Realize, I guess you can say. And that is going to be the whole thing with the city, okay? Because with the city, we have been seeing a countdown, and everybody's been like, oh, like, what could this be? What could that be? And to be honest with you, I don't think it really means much. Like, I'm just keeping it a stack. It's not like how it was last year where they actually had a rollout and they had that beautiful mural where they had all different types of stuff. And remember, they had like the broken glass, shard of glass and stuff. And we all talked about Daryl Dawkins, and we thought that was going to mean something, and it didn't. There was a little hints inside of that, but that was basically, there was nothing really we got out of it, right? We basically got stuff that we already knew we were going to get. I feel like these countdowns are basically AI generated pictures in the background. I'm just going to keep it a stack. I feel like they're just AI generated images with the countdown. I don't feel like there's anything in that at all. They have no value. They mean nothing other than they're just counting down. Is that lazy? Yeah, it's lazy, right? I know how some people feel about AI. I mean, remember how 2K26, they got so much flack because the cover arts were AI generated. And that's where a lot of things are going, right? AI generation. You know what I mean? It's cheaper for Take-Two. Why pay somebody, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or pay a firm hundreds of thousands of dollars to create a rollout when you can just literally just type in it at ChatGPT and they'll give you something, and you keep on typing and typing until you get something, right? But just look at the countdown. Look at the images in the background. They're AI generated. They are definitely AI generated. You cannot say that they're not. I mean, like, where do you think you see these things at, right? Yeah, they could be a park, a generalized park, right? But I hear people talking about Rucker Park and all that type of sort. And the fact is that no, it's not happening, right? And the reason why you're not going to see like the Venice beaches and the Rucker Parks, or the parks in Chicago, whatever it is, because that actually costs money, and 2K ain't kind of trying to pay those type of licensing fees. I can tell you that right now. 2K is a money machine, and they're not really looking to try to spend any more money to eat at that overhead, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, why spend all that type of money on getting those licenses for Venice Beach when they can just keep rotating the park, right? They can just why, right? Let's give us Sunset, give us Rivet, right? Now, will we like to see something different? Of course. But at the end of the day, there's no motivation for 2K to sit there and do that, right? AI generated images for the countdown. Do I expect the city to be different? Minor changes. 2K has a playbook where they're just going to keep rolling out the same thing when it comes to the city, because nobody is seeing any type of changes in revenue to make it seem like they need to do anything differently, right? That's just the cold, hard truth. That's the cold, hard facts. And, I'm not about to sit here and fluff your heads up and make you say like, yo, this is about to be a brand new city. No, they might refresh it to something different, right? But it's still going to be the same little city where you run around, you can see the top legend, you got the NBA store, you got Nike store, you got the 2K League store, which is not even around anymore. You got, that type of stuff, right? You got your Pro-Am, your Ante-Up. That's basically what it is. They're going, they're going to have the bikes, all the little transportation little pieces. You got to pay money for that. But it's going to be the same script, because if it ain't broke, why fix it? When I say it ain't broke, meaning that if they're still seeing growth year over year, why change the city? Why do anything differently? People have been saying about the stage and theater, and there's so many different things that I would love to see differently. But from what I've been feeling and what I've been seeing over the past couple years, is that stage and theater, even though they have a really good mass appeal, what 2K really cares about is really just how we can get individuals to make more builds and get excited about making builds, because that's where the money's at, in the build, making the builds. Why spend so much time and effort in the surrounding when you can just go with the builds and just have the same park set up and just change the parks, right? The city is not going to change. right? The city is still gonna be something small, modular, where you can just get your little clothing items and get to your whatever venue you want to get to, and that's it. Me personally, I'm a proponent of why not just take the city out? You see what I'm saying? Because if you take the city out, that's less bandwidth that you need to focus on, right? When I say less bandwidth, meaning that those developers that are focusing on making a city, then they can go to something different and figuring out how we can get a different theater, how we can have a rotated theater with generic sceneries. See, I'd rather have a matchmaking setup to where every time I load up with my squad or solos, I'm not playing in what you see in the background right there. This is like, look at the walls. Generic people standing around in the court. This is what we've been getting for years, right? But 2K doesn't have really much of an incentive to change that, because at the end of the day, all we really truly care about as a consumer base, when I say this, I'm talking about numbers. I'm not talking about how you genuinely feel, but I'm talking about numbers. It's just the builds and the builder and how our builds play. Because 2K has not changed anything visually, right? We get the same thing theater. They change it. Same thing in the stage. They change it. Same thing in the park. They're bringing back, stuff from 10 years ago and stuff. And we get excited about that. You see what I'm saying? I know at first it was nostalgia, but after a while it gets burnt out, because then we realized it's like, wait a minute. So for 9 seasons, they're just rotating 4 parks. That's it. That's all you got. You see what I'm saying? So the reality is this, guys, and then I don't want to be long-winded with this. The city is still going to be the same. The concept is still going to be the same. It's going to be the same size, right? This is my opinion, all right? I'm not trying to say this is fact. I could be wrong, but I'm just going off what we've been seeing for the past 5 years. You know what I'm saying? They keep on making the city smaller and smaller because they're phasing out that part of the game, because it's not really much of a money-making machine for them. What's the money-making machine for them is the microtransactions that you get for making your builds, okay? The theater, the stage, starter 5, rec, all those still gonna be the same. I'm telling you right now, uniforms. I saw jokes and stuff about people were like, yo, like they love blue, right? Like they just have uniforms, basic generic uniforms, right? Because the transactional sheet, what they're looking at, says that they don't really care about this. I mean, we might get some pushback on Twitter and on Reddit, but really, they just care about the builds. We care about the builds because that's where we're making the money at. So let's keep that the same. So what I believe is, don't be surprised if you see the same cut and paste with rinse and repeat with the same type of setups. Don't expect a crazy theater setup where you got different venues and stuff, right? It's going to be the same theater. It's going to be the same stage, the same city. And reality is that's really much what we've asked for, because if we really wanted something differently, we would push back, but we ain't pushing back. We're still throwing lots and lots of money and making those builds. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do y'all think? Other than that, this your favorite old head, Uncle Timmy. I'll be back really, really soon with the banger, man. You know, when I say back soon with the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.